Brief for Tuesday. We've got a new upper body cycle coming at you today. Pretty excited about it. Let's get right into it. We're gonna start with a warm-up. 3 rounds of forearm plank for 30 seconds. I know a lot of people are getting achy wrists and we got some pressing to do today. So I just want you to squeeze that plank right here. Tuck the hips, keep it nice and tight. 30 seconds on your forearms. Then you can lower yourself and do 10 arch ups. Flexing those back muscles. Then you can go back to the forearm plank, back to the arch up for 3 full rounds. Then we're gonna do 3 rounds of a little bit different kind of moving a little more dynamically. We're gonna do something that I'm sure I didn't make it up, but I think I made the name of. I'm calling them tabletop rocks. So this is sort of like the tabletop position would be almost this crab walk position here, where you're lifting your hips up high. That is a really nice stretch for me, at least, in my shoulders, chest, biceps, and it gets your lower body turned on really nicely. So what I want to do is, instead of holding it like a reverse plank, we're just going to do 5 reps. So I'm going to go up and back down. That's 1. Up and down. That's 2. I do 5 of those. Then we're going to stand up. Give me 10 good mornings with a nice flat back. Squeeze at the top. And then 15 jumping jacks, seal jacks, whatever you want to do. Just something to get your heart rate up, okay? 3 rounds of that combination. Then we're going to get into part 1. Part 1 is now new upper body cycle. We're going to go 5 sets of 1 to 12 chair dips. I'm going to call it a bench dip for my house because our chairs are not so sturdy, and this is a way you can do it on a bench. And 5 to 12 reverse flies, okay? Let's get into those movements. The chair dip, all we're looking to do is press in a downward direction. I remember when I was at the CrossFit Gymnastics seminar, they were asking about ring dips. When they were teaching ring dips, they said, honestly, just slide your elbows backwards. That's kind of what we're looking for. Sometimes dips, if you had 2 chairs or if you had rings or something like that, sometimes people get a little too push-uppy. Your upper body shouldn't change that much in its direction. So all I'm gonna do is find my way to something sturdy. Use this bench. You can put your fingertips in any direction, but ideally we would want them to be facing forward. And then I'm gonna just scoot my hips off just enough that I'm clear. Now here I have my knees bent, so this is a great way to kind of scale down how difficult this might be. And I'm just gonna let my elbows go straight back and let my body sink as much as I can, straight down. With your hips and your legs, you can sort of guide your upper body here. The next thing you could do would be to extend the legs. It's gonna make it a little harder, a little more reverse plank-like. Another thing you could do is lift your feet. You can put your feet up on something if that isn't hard enough, or even set a weight in your lap or something like that, okay? If you have 2 chairs, again, mine aren't sturdy enough to demonstrate, but you could do the exact same thing with 1 hand on each chair as well. 1 to 12 reps, depending on how hard you want that variation to be. Then we're gonna do 5 to 12 of a reverse fly. Reverse fly is very much what I've been calling a bent over T position. So you want to hinge over like a good morning, like a deadlift, flat back, and we're just going to pull up and back with your arms. Now this is if you were at LA Fitness, you could grab a couple of light dumbbells or a couple of maybe 2.5 pound plates, something pretty light, and you could use those. If you have something that's a weight at home but it's too heavy, I would recommend finding an odd object. So as I was just getting ready to make this video, I was walking around, I grabbed that pineapple, that was a great weight as well. I was gonna grab that big loaf of sourdough, that's a good weight. But most of us only have 1 implement at home that matches at least. So I'm gonna use this little kettlebell and I'm gonna do a 1-armed version. So I'm gonna do this exact same setup, except now I'm gonna try to squeeze tight in my midsection and I'm gonna pull up and out, trying to pinch that shoulder blade. I'm not keeping my arm completely straight, locked out. I got a little bit of bend and I'm really just looking to pinch the shoulder blade back. So I would do my reps on one side, my reps on the other side, Make sure you start with your weaker arm, just so you don't end up going like, and 12, cool. 1, oh man, right? So you gotta make sure they're evened out in some way, okay? 5 sets of that. Then we'll move on to part 2. Part 2 is Tabata craziness today. We've got first a Tabata of pull-ups or body weight rows. So a lot of people now have a way to do the table row or the or ring rows or the sheet row in the door. Whatever you can do to pull something in your direction for a full Tabata. That means 8 rounds of 20 seconds of row, 10 seconds rest. 20 seconds row, 10 seconds rest. 8 times, okay? Then you have 1 minute to rest and to track your reps. Then you'll do Tabata of kettlebell swing. Same thing. For 20 seconds, I'm swinging a kettlebell or a dumbbell, either overhead or eye level. For 10 seconds, I'm gonna rest. Honestly, I've done this one before. 10 seconds is almost not even enough time to put the kettlebell down. You just kind of hang on to it, and then we go again, okay? 8 rounds. Rest a minute, and then we're gonna finish with the Tabata of what we're gonna call a plank up, or as I've been putting it in the past, forearm to hand planks. So I'm gonna start on my forearms, and then when the clock says go, I'm gonna go up to my hands and back down. Trying to keep my hips as flat as possible, but that's not gonna go well for very long. And then rest for 10 seconds. You can rest for 10 seconds, or I would challenge you, see how long you can just stay in that plank. See if maybe you can get the first 4 rounds of the Tabata without coming down at all. That would be nasty, nasty. So, triple Tabata, let me know if you have any questions about that one. And I'm gonna make sure that we get our kettlebell swings, and if you're doing pull-ups in that, we're gonna do total score, not lowest score, so that we can pop all those reps onto be on the whiteboard for the Don't Weaken Challenge. I think that's it for today. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Have a good one. Enjoy your workout. Have fun.